Welcome to Linguistic Lips. We have another great episode for you today. We're going to be talking about self-worth, which I think is a very important topic. I am your host, Indian Girl, and we have to my right,
Raquel.
And to my left,
Santina.
And from the wiggity West Coast, we have
Red Star.
Red Star. We missed you last week, Red Star.
I'm back.
So, this week we want to talk about self-worth. I don't know if we want to dive into more of is self-worth based on what we feel about ourselves or what we think others think about us.
That's what it's about, though. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We're trying to say that we feel a way about ourselves, but ultimately, whether we know it or not, a lot of it stems from how we feel other people. I think how other people feel about us.
But that's not self-worth.
That's not self-worth. But I think when you're younger, yeah. But I think as the older you get, the more comfortable you get with yourself. Like, I know my worth now. When I was 20, 21 years old, I didn't. I felt as though it was contingent upon what my man or significant other thought about me.
Well, that's what I think she's trying to say. We think we know our self-worth, but it's really based on what we think society should think about us. And so it's a confusion of the two. Like, is that really your self-worth, or you think somebody you have to be this way because that's how you should be? You know. So that's the confusion in it, and that's kind of what I wanted to get into. What do you think about self-worth, Sandy?
Well, I've been doing a lot of research on this one. Self-worth to me is the feeling I feel about myself. The feeling of satisfaction within myself that I have now. As you said, when I was 20, there's a lot of things that I did and indulged in that I wouldn't dare do now. But that's because I look at myself in a different manner now, and I respect myself a little bit more than I did when I was 20. So when it comes to self-worth to me, I describe it as the person that I feel that I want to be on the inside. Myself, my prayer is that I try to be more like Jesus every day. And I feel like if I accomplish that, if I at least try to be a better person than I was yesterday, then I've done something good. And that's the person that I want to be. So that's what I build my self-worth to be right now within myself.
That's crazy. I was just telling someone today that I pray every night to be more like God and remove anything not like him out of my life. And then, I also said that, my worth comes from what I do to be a better person. So I agree with you on that. And it is a little confusing because I feel like when I was younger, I had more self-worth. And it's like the older I get, it's like I start questioning my worth and who I am. So it's just, it's a lot of soul searching, I think, for me on my part, a lot of prayer, a lot of understanding, and I'm like really confused at this point in my life. And I think it's because, you go through something else I said today. I have 2 failed marriages. So it's like, and I felt like I did everything I was supposed to do. I was everything to these people, and here I am. I'm back single again.
But that's
so was I doing?
It's not I. If you're in a relationship with someone, there's we. We have to work on the relationship. If you are just the only one putting in all of the work, then it's not going to work. A relationship is between two people, 2 active participants. And if one participant is not putting forth everything, or they are taking their time, or they feel as though they have all the time in the world because she ain't going anywhere, then of course, when you're fed up, I think that's part of you starting to realize your self-worth.
Yeah,
why?
when you're done. Yeah, because you're like, I spent all this time being who you wanted me to be. Am I really being my authentic self? Am I really this Indian girl? Am I really this person? Am I just a persona, or am I this builder bee that you formed me to be this person, so I have to be, what they call it, Stepford wife or whatever. And so it's like, do you start questioning when you get out of those relationships? Okay, who am I really? Who am I? What's my worth?
I think that's one of the things as women, we sometimes conform ourselves to what said man or what society wants us to be. And then we lose ourselves. Like as women, we are natural nurturers. We are natural. We're known to just take care of things, handle things. We're moms. We take care of our kids. We take care. They go to school. We're here. We're there. We're everywhere. And then one moment you wake up and you're like, darn, who am I? What do I like? What do I want? Because after a while, the kids are going to get older. They're going to leave the house. And then you're stuck with yourself. And you're like, who am I? Do I love myself? Do I feel valuable? And I feel as though that's one of those things once you know who you are. And I think as women, it doesn't matter how old you are. The older you get, the more comfortable you should get with yourself. And knowing who you are, what you want, what you don't want, what you will tolerate, what you will not tolerate, knowing your value, knowing your net worth, knowing your value. Because sometimes I feel as though we get so wrapped up and consumed in everyone else. And then when we have that breakdown and that aha moment, you be like, dang, I took that. I did that. I allowed this to happen. It's about also being accountable, because sometimes as women, we always want to point at everyone else, and then you're not saying, what did I allow? I allowed this to happen. And so I have to take some accountability and forgive myself, and I continue to beat myself up on, we're human, we make mistakes. So I allowed this to happen, because sometimes we allow things to happen. And it's because maybe we're so in love, or we just want this picture perfect. We want it to be perfect. We want what we didn't have as kids. And sometimes giving our kids things that we didn't have, we sometimes end up with the short end of the stick. And we are damaged, and we are broken, and we are messed up. And women sometimes don't take care of themselves.
Well, I feel outside of romantic love and familiar love, you have to start, like I said, being at a younger age, where society has set a standard for beauty, set a standard for what we do, our success, and those standards are set. It's different for us than it is for the kids growing up now, because social media really dictates how the young people see themselves. Even older people. Because when you get older, you want to be younger. So you're like, okay, what do I have to do? Let's see what the Kardashians are doing now. Let's see what's, this and that and the other. And we kind of base our life back to what you said, Keita, if you want to elaborate on that. About society setting the standard.
About what?
Society setting the standard for self-worth.
What I was saying, how it is based on what other people think.
Yeah.
When I said that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, ultimately, at the root is what I mean by that. Not, of course, what Raquel said is that when we get older, you start to, you're not nitpicking about every little thing and flipping out about every little hair in place or the perfect career, or you start to really try to do certain things and try to align your life and your values with what you truly believe. But I like Santina, I was doing a bunch of research too, and just looking at so many things, and I was just all the different articles, self-help books, all kinds of stuff. And I mean, it's not bad. I think that a lot of our things are kind of driven from others, because we're humans, right? We're made for that social contact and connection. It's all connected. So there's going to be some of that. I think it just takes work. And what I mean by that is you really have to peel back the layers of all the shit that's dumped on us, and I mean that how we're supposed to be as women, how we're supposed to be sexually, how we're supposed to look, how we're supposed to speak, how we're supposed to raise our kids, what we're supposed to eat, how much we're supposed to exercise. I mean, it's something for everything. Half the time, I feel like completely overwhelmed with like just, okay, I gotta eat right, I gotta do this, I gotta look right, I gotta do this, I gotta make sure my boys do this, I gotta have this career, I gotta make some money, I mean, it's a fucking lot. But you just have to break it down pretty much. You have to really, in the middle of every interaction, stop and ask yourself, if, you know, like, is this who you are? Is this what you want? Does this honor you? Kind of stuff, basically.
So, how do we get out of the what someone else wants versus what we need for ourselves? Like you said, it is a moment of stopping and saying, hey, does this make me feel good? Does this make me, who am I doing this for? Am I doing this for you, or am I doing this for me? It even goes to, because I ask anybody that says they're getting some type of work done, some plastic surgery done, I always say, you're not doing this for somebody else, right? You're doing this because this is for you. You know, I don't judge people that want to get plastic surgery and get work done and feel better about themselves. But I always want to say, hey, if you're doing this for somebody else, you're going to be miserable. If that person doesn't accept you, if that person still doesn't like the person that you changed yourself to be for them, are you doing this for you? Is it for your self-esteem? If it's for, you know, something you always wanted or something you always wanted to do, or if it makes you feel confident, you know, go for it. I just don't feel like you're going to be happy when you do things for others in that manner, you know. But yeah, so it's basically a situation of stopping and thinking, whether you meditate, pray, or whatever. It's like you ask a higher power, where you want to be in life. How do you feel about yourself? Does this make you happy? I've always been someone growing up in school, I didn't care what anybody thought about what I did, what I said, how I acted, how I moved, whatever. Somebody's going to have a problem with everything you do. They're going to have a problem with our show. They're going to nitpick everyone on this, like, I don't like that, I don't like that. And we have to stand in our stance of, so what? This is who I am. You know,
sometimes like when you get, you know, you say you get older and you get your grandmas and stuff, which is what comes up, comes out. They just don't care. And I think the older we get, I don't care. Like, oh, okay. You know, like, okay. Well, you be blessed and then keep it going. I think I'm getting to that point where sometimes I'm okay. But one of the things my coworker and I, we decided to do because of the pandemic, teaching in a pandemic and doing what we do, we sometimes get overwhelmed. We stay in our classroom for the most part, but we decided to pick a word that's our word, our safe word. Like, what's your word? And me for this year, my word is peace. And it's not just like nothing being chaotic around me and everything in this order. It's just me having calmness over me and me not allowing negative things to come into my space, into my being. And if I feel as though you're about to bring me to a place where I'm going to be nasty, I'm going to be ugly, or I'm going to say something to you, I'm worth more than that. I can't do this anymore. I am almost 40 years old and I don't want to do 40 years of what I've done. I want to be different. I want to be a better mother. I want to be a better person.